Morning. You know what happens today? Our shop gets delivered today. The builders are already over there. The building's supposed to get here in about 20 minutes. So we'll meet them over there. Dad's taking her for a spin. Actually just moving out of the way. Let's see if he can figure it out. There's a hydraulic lock and a park brake, and he hasn't figured that out yet. Ah, there you got it. Park brake. He's idling. These guys are putting the base of the floor down. There's going to be, I believe, 6 inches of gravel on this floor, 2 inches of insulation for the in-floor heat, and then 6 inches of concrete. Now I know someone will say put 8 inches or put 10 inches of concrete or whatever. Every building we've ever built's had 4 to 6 inches of concrete, and they've had the same thing struggle on them that this building's going to have, and we've been fine. These guys are professional builders. They build commercial buildings for a living, and they recommended 6 inches, so that's what we're going to do. Take your back out, PJ. Oh, a little bit more. Hey, pick up on that loop right here. Step in the post with it. Yep, if only there was a machine for that.
Look, there's a button you can push.
We got Dan from Precision Agri Service. He is our new guru that took Evan's spot. He is working on our planner, doing a couple updates to it. We've also got a building manager from Diverse meeting with us. We got to pick out building colors, I guess. So today when I say they're delivering the building, they're not delivering the metal, they're delivering the trusses in the wood.
Pink and yellow.
Pink and yellow?
Yeah. Look good on me.
Dad is shopping right now. He's watching these guys work with that, I don't even know what you call it, the laser level grader system thing, bobber they're using. The building's pulling in. I was hoping to have a drone up in the air, but missed the opportunity. Dang it. So while we're having this meeting, they're unloading that, just get you guys a little montage.
Swing it into the building,
Okay.
or the corner.
There's our building. Now that the building's unloaded, there's another load coming tomorrow of the wood for the building. So this is a hybrid building. We have steel trusses, but we have wood purling. So the lumber is coming tomorrow. We just got done picking out the colors of the building. We're going with a white building with a black roof, black trim, possibly black windows and doors, and a black wainscot. I think it's going to look really sharp. Pretty excited for that. But I think they're going to get started putting up the building next week, I believe is the plan. Dr. Watson's here. So we also have the Underforth guys coming down. They are going to help us set up the strip till bar. They also have a rolling harrow that we are going to demo. Basically, I'm going to pull that behind my accelerator And I really think that between the accelerator and that rolling harrow, that will help smooth out a lot of our rough spots in fields. I'm really excited to try that out. Something I've been wanting to try for a couple years, really, and yeah, making it happen. Can't forget the new GoPro. It ain't waterproof. And it turned off. Did it not record anything? I hate these freaking things. Yeah, I think this will leave a really nice finish. Help sterate some dirt, and then this will be a nice packing wheel. Basically, any big rocks that should pack them right back down. I think this is going to work out pretty slick. Christmas. I think my house is being delivered. Wasn't supposed to be here till tomorrow. So this is the trussing and everything for the house, I'm pretty sure. First time I've been over to the house site with some water in the basement. Looks like there's a couple low spots there, but they're kind of sloping towards the drain, which is, you know, ideal. That's what we want. A couple unexpected things. We just got about 2/10 of rain that dumped down in a couple minutes, and the house trusses showed up. That wasn't supposed to be here today. Actually, neither one of those were supposed to be here till tomorrow. We're supposed to get the rain, we're supposed to get the trusses, but I guess we got them. So there's our trusses. As you can see, these are metal. So I say this is a hybrid building. Now, these are an arched ceiling, but the very top section, as you can see, has a flat brace across. So they only do that, I think after you get over 80 feet wide, and this one's 100 foot wide. So that's why that is that way. This is the rest of this truss. This will bolt right here. So no real thick trussing. I mean, should give us a nice vaulted ceiling, lots of space up top. A couple of these are bent, but I think that's pretty common. These are what the 2x4s go in, or 2x6s, or I think they're 2x4s. Heck, I don't know. That's what your purlings for your roof go. That's where they go, I believe. I'm also speculating heavily. So those guys were doing some grading and just filling in with some gravel and stuff, where they cut off the form boards to where they're showing like the actual door openings. That 50-foot door is a big door. That's a lot of door. And we've got, these are actually, they're 30-foot doors, but really, technically they're 28-foot. I got 50 is probably actually a 48-foot door, really and truly, because you lose a little bit on each side. But 30, 30, 30, 50, and then there's a 14 right there. It's we got a lot of doors, a lot of openings. Now the service pit is going to be somewhere right in here. Now this is also the wash bay, but we're figuring on washing most of the stuff over on this end. This is a 100-foot long bay, and it's a 30-foot door on each end, so pretty big space for washing. But figuring on a lot of the washing happening here. Most of the time when we wash stuff and it's not cold, like real cold, it's probably going to be washed right out here. That way we're not just getting everything soaked. But yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. Kind of starting to see the shape of the building. It's weird just looking out at this pad. My mind plays tricks on me. It doesn't really look that big. This building is almost 15,000 square feet, so it's pretty big. But I actually got a measuring wheel and checked this wall to make sure it was 135 feet. And it is 135 feet exactly. Imagine that. It's just looking at boards. They just, I don't know. Without walls, it looks different. It's a double morning kind of video. Morning. So yesterday, once we got everything unloaded, had some rain showers and whatnot, and really wasn't a whole lot going on. So we're just gonna make a two-parter here. Today, we have more rain rolling in, but for now, we have a few fields that are dry enough. I think I can spread some fertilizer, so I've got to do some work to the floater. Not a lot. I just have to adjust some things that were set for lime, and then we will see if we can maybe spread some potash on some bean ground. Now that is going to depend on wind. It is starting to get a little windy, but we can at least get this machine adjusted. Dad spread some lime with us a few weeks ago. When you do that, you adjust your spinner distance. This is what controls the spread pattern, the width of the pattern. And then we also have to adjust our gate right there. It's much more open for lime. Close it down to like 1.5 inches or 2 inches for fertilizer, granular fertilizer.
I got a mark over here.
Can you see your mark?
Huh?
Can you see it?
Yeah. See it there. See it right right there.
We're gonna go spread down at the river bottom, so I'm going to go stage my truck down there, and I'm gonna come back and bring the spreader down there. I don't know, we might get a load spread. It's really starting to get a little gusty where we're spreading it, but we're basically throwing fertilizer into a big fan, and then gravity is doing the rest. So if you have a lot of wind, you don't get the most accurate spread patterns. So right now we're still all right, but I don't know how long that'll be the case. They are delivering the rest of the building today. Like I said, we got a lumber package coming. I don't know when that'll be here, but I assume there's gonna be large bundles of lumber everywhere. Really wish that thing was up. I'm super excited to see this building. Looks like our load of lumber just got here. So it is supposed to be, what the heck? I am turning you, oh. So one thing, we'll get back to the weather later, but a little bit of tractor safety for you. When a tractor is slowing down and they have their flashers on or their turn signals on, they're probably getting ready to turn left. So don't pass them. I almost just turned right into that car. Would have ran right over them because they weren't really, they were in a hurry. They seen me because I was going slower and they were in a hurry. That drives me crazy. One thing I'll usually do, and there was a car coming so I couldn't do it that time, is if I'm going to make a left turn and there's no cars coming, I will get in the middle of the road so they cannot pass me. But that time I had to slow down and wait on a car. As soon as that car went around, they passed me. Absolutely asinine. I don't even know if I used that word right. I am so flustered right now. Whew. All right, let's load this floater.
We've got to move the timber truck. We'll get that potash and pull the spreader right up here, and we'll get her loaded. We try to park stuff in front of the fertilizer, just to help shield it from some of the moisture, help keep some of the stuff blowing in on it. We've had a good bit of rain. I don't see any rain running through the lumber. That's good. Personally, I'd rather have poured walls than wooden walls. That is a question I've been asked a few times. Do I like the concrete blocks or the lumber? I'd really rather have poured walls. That would be the ideal situation in my opinion.
Check, make sure we're neutral.
We're here to the truck and get some supplies, mainly the coffee.
Oh, look touchy. Raindrop. So potash, which is potassium, beans like potash. They like potassium. So that's what we're going to apply out here. And then BJ will be putting the phosphorus and the potassium, both products, potash and mez. That's what those two products are. Onto the corn ground with the strip till bar. Now we do have some small fields, like 5-6 acre fields, that just make really no sense to try to turn that big strip till bar around in. That is such a long machine that I will probably just load this thing up with some potash and some mez and go spread those off, kind of quickly. Just that way BJ can keep rolling in the big fields and not waste a bunch of time. Like that's a 110 acre field. Better use of his time doing that field than spending an hour on a 6 acre field and most of that just being turning around. The thing that I will be doing after it dries out enough, we will run the vertical tillage tool over this field, which will help incorporate that potash, get it into the dirt, which is much better for it than sitting on top of the dirt, in my opinion.
So we'll be doing two things at once. We'll be chopping up residue for a good seed bed for the beans, and we will be putting the fertilizer in the ground, which is what we want. Now I should say we are variable rating. Like here's our variable rate map. But unlike in years past where I've complained about having some messed up fields, there's no zero zones. Last year we had several zones that according to the soil test didn't need fertilizer. Looking back, that was a mistake. We should have had a minimum rate. So this year we have a minimum rate of 100 pounds per acre on all products, all fertilizer products. So 100 pounds of mez, 100 pounds of potash minimum on every acre instead of a 0 or a 25 pound. That should keep everything a little bit more consistent. Even though the soil test may show that we don't need fertilizer in those areas, if that potassium is tied to the soil and unavailable to the crop, what good does it matter? So by putting some new fertilizer down, it's at least available and the crop can take it up. That's my opinion anyways. Yeah, that's it for now. It's starting to get really windy, unfortunately. And we didn't quite get empty. Looks like BJ's doing a test and tune on the strip till bar. I'm gonna run back here to the house site to see if my builder's here. I don't think they were planning on coming over today, but sometime in the very near future they were gonna start going up with the house. I hope they weren't going back here today because I was going to have me a time lapse set up. Yeah, I don't see any builders. BJ is checking his pass to pass distance. It is a little bit too wet. Strip till, we need about another day and it'd be really good shape. Unfortunately, it's about to rain. So he made a couple passes through here, not applying anything. And we are going to do a couple checks. Let's see if our bulk row is 30 inches apart, which is what it should be. And make sure he's driving straight. So we had to put a new steering sensor in that John Deere. And to do that, and to get that sensor to calibrate, you need a John Deere Globe on that tractor, and we don't have one. It might be a bit off. I'm going to borrow one from a buddy at some point just so we can calibrate that sensor and then it'll work fine, but leave it to John Deere. You forgot to put it in the ground. Oh, he's doing his pass to pass, so he's going to drop a flag right in the middle of the hitch, turn back around, come in on that line and make sure that we are lined perfectly back up. This is just a quick way to check your RTK. So we are on RTK, which is supposed to be pass to pass sub-inch accuracy. Supposed to be. Had her in the ground, well, somewhere over here. Not all over here, I guess. Yeah, there's some strips. So he's not dropping it all the way in the ground just because it's still a little bit damp. He's just tickling the ground a little bit, you might say. He's going to stop right on that flag, and it would appear that we are off just a smidge. Yup, that's not good. It's close, but it's not perfect, and we need it to be perfect. So hopefully when we bum a John Deere Globe, we'll be in business. He's off pretty good there. Old tractor tire width. Need to get one of them globes.
Yeah.
Because you're off a whole tire width.
Yeah. It says I'm locked right on.
16 inches off. Ay, ay, ay.
So not only is the tractor off 16 inches, we're still off another 8.
Math and stuff. Apparently we have 2 antennas sitting up there for some reason. That could be something to do with our issue. On a side note, our John Deere that had $10,000 of hydraulic repairs done to it a couple years ago, doing real well. It's definitely the tractor because it does it with the accelerator too, and the Fendt does not. Yep, handy. Hopefully that's not our antenna and it's got an RTK unlocked. That'd be pretty handy. So with that knowledge, BJ's going to spin them around and we're going to retry this. He said the antenna that's plugged in wasn't sitting in the center of the tractor in the designated spot, which would definitely throw your measurement off a little bit. Wouldn't help any, that's for sure. So we're going to try it again and see what happens. Hopefully that's all it is. Now I know we still need to do that calibration with a John Deere Globe to really get that thing dialed in, but it should be pretty dang going close right now, like maybe off an inch and not 16 of them. Definitely getting windy. We got a storm rolling in. Whoop. Hey. Oh. Hey, if you guys would like one of these hats, check the link in the description, farmfocus.com. Get yourself some Brian's Farming Videos merch. Nothing cooler at farm shows than seeing people wearing your hat. Well, other than the millions of dollars worth of machinery. Come over here, put this right in the center of the hitch. Right there. See what happens now. it's getting windy. Hopefully this little mic's hanging in there. I'm sure the audio is getting blown out though. That's the way our weather comes from, and it's starting to look a little nasty. It is currently 82 degrees. It was 55 yesterday, so there's a chance of severe storms all evening. I think we're under a tornado watch right now, or likelihood of getting under one, or something like that, according to the Weather Channel app. Much better. Maybe off like that far, 2 inches. Maybe off an inch or 2.
I think that's as good as I can get.
Without that John Deere globe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely is better than you were. I mean, you're right.
Underneath it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe at best an inch. Well, folks, we're going to go batten down the hatches and prepare for the monsoon that's about to roll in. It really sucks. Like I said, we are a day away from being like full bore, able to strip till, able to vertical till, spray. I mean, it's 80 degrees is dry ground out in a hurry. It's just not quite there, and we got rain in about an hour, if that. Thanks for watching, folks. If you would, do us a favor and thumbs up the video and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.